Hi there, this is Dr. Dell, and in this training video, I'm going to show you what some people would think of as a magic trick. People that don't understand mathematics very well watch people that do understand it do things, and it almost seems like magic. And in particular, in this video, I'm going to show you how today we can use a tool to find the area of a triangle. This will be any triangle whatsoever if we know the lengths of the three sides. So for example, here's a triangle, and this side has length 8.3. Now let's say these were feet, and this is 12.4 feet, and this is 17.6 feet. Now the question is, what is the area of this triangle? You might need to know this answer for lots of situations. It could be an industrial problem, it could be landscaping, it can be carpentry, it could be all sorts of situations. And so how do you find this area? Now the facts of the matter are, this was a very difficult problem for our ancestors. Conceptually speaking, it was fairly challenging for them. And in terms of the tools they had, the old primitive tools, it was very, very difficult. Because there's two aspects to everything in math. One is the concepts, the ideas behind it. And the second thing is the tools that you can use. Well, if you understand the concept behind area of triangle, and if you know how to use a modern tool, then this becomes a very easy problem. Now, the tool that I like to teach a student to do first is the scientific calculator, and the one I prefer is the TI-30XA. It costs less than $10. It's an extremely powerful tool, very useful. You can do literally 1,000 different things with it, but we're going to use it now to find the area of this triangle. And the way you do it is you turn the thing on. And now what I like to do right off the bat is set the decimal place to two places. So for example, this is the number pi, and you see all the decimals there, 3.1415. If I hit second decimal point 2, then that just shows these two decimals here. And that's all I want to see. And I just wanted to get it set up. Now I'm going to do the problem. So you can time me, and I'm not going to explain it. I'm going to explain it to you later and show you step by step what I did so you can learn to do it just as quick and as easy as I'm doing it. And if I haven't made a mistake, the answer is 46.62 square feet. Now, that's just how easy it is to do this problem. And I'm going to show you now, step by step, how I did it so you can go through and do it just as easily as I can. I will tell you this is a problem that probably 95% of adults in the United States could not solve. Now I'm going to show you exactly what I did step by step so that you can practice and do it, and you can do the same thing I did. If you think of this as a magic trick, I'm teaching you how to do the magic trick. Now, what's going to happen is these A, B, and C are numbers now for any given triangle. So think of A as being a particular number, B a number, and C a number, just like we did in the example I already showed you. And then you're going to do the following. You're going to enter numbers, and you're going to press command keys on the calculator. And so let's take a quick look at the keys you're going to press on the calculator. You're going to use the equal key, the plus, the minus, the times, the divide. You're going to use the x squared key right there. You're going to use the cos key, the sin key, and the second key. Those are the keys we're going to use to do this particular magic trick. And of course, you enter the numbers through the keyboard right here. Okay, now, what you're going to learn by practicing and doing it is you're going to learn the sequence of steps to do here. And so it's these two columns over here that you're going to really have to learn. And all I'm showing you over here is what's going to be on the display. Although you don't need to worry about that now. That's for really for future reference. So here's what you do after you turn the calculator on. You enter the number A, and then you hit the x squared key on the calculator. That's a command. Then you hit the plus key on the calculator. Then you enter the number B, and then you hit the x squared key, and then you hit the minus key on the calculator, and then you enter the number C, and you hit the x squared key. Then you hit the equal key. Then you hit the divide key, then you enter the number 2, and you hit the divide key. You enter the number A, and you hit the divide key. You enter the number B, and you hit the equal sign. Then you hit the second key, then you hit the COS key, then you hit the SIN key, then you hit the times key, then you enter the number A and hit the times key, enter the number B and hit the times key, enter the number 0.5 and hit the equal key, and that will be the answer if you didn't make a mistake, if you followed that. Now, that seems fairly complicated, but it's like a lot of things you learn in any sport. Each one of these steps by itself is very simple to do. You just have to learn how to chain them together in the right sequence, and the way you do that is practice, as we're going to do a little bit of in a moment, and then you're going to do a lot more of on the exercises until you get good at it. After probably an hour or so of practice, you'll be able to do this just as fast as I did in the example I gave you at the beginning. Okay, now the way to learn anything in any game or sport or mathematics is to practice. And so we're going to do some problems. We're going to take a triangle and use real easy numbers here. We're going to make this side 3, this side 4, and this side 6. The way I expressed it here is A, B, and C are 3, 4, and 6. And then we're going to apply exactly the rules I taught you, only now A is 3, and B is 4, and C is 6, and we're going to go through this. So we turn on the calculator. And we want to make sure that it shows 0 there when you first turn it on. So when you turn it on, it shows 0. And now what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do is to enter A, which is 3. So we enter A. There's 3. Then we hit the x squared key. So we hit the x squared key. And the display now shows 9. Then we hit the plus key. The display still shows 9. Now we hit 4 and x squared again. And now the display shows 16. That was 4 squared. And then when we hit the minus key, it'll show 25 because it's actually added those together. Then we're going to enter 6, hit the x squared key, and then we're going to hit equal. And now that shows a minus 11 on the display, and that's fine. And now we're going to hit the divide key, and then we're going, and that'll still show minus 11. And then we're going to go over here and hit 2, because this is when you enter over here. Here you're just hitting key. Now you enter 2. And then we're going to hit the divide key again. And then we're going to enter 3, which is A, and hit the divide key. And then we're going to enter 4, which is B. And now we're going to hit the equal key. And now I'm going to move this up a little so we can see it. I'm going to move it up to here now. Now where are we? We're right here at the 0.458. We just hit the 4. We're going to hit the second key. That's a negative, by the way. We're going to hit the second key, hit the cos key, and then we're going to, now that's the number of degrees that's in between those two sides, the 3 and the 4 side, by the way. Then we're going to hit the sine key, and there's a number, and then we're going to hit times. It'll still show the sign, and then we're going to hit 3, times, hit 4, that's B, times, and then we're going to hit 0.5, and then we hit the equal, and that's the final answer, 5.33 square units. If this was inches, each of the units were inches, it'd be square inches. It's just that simple. Now you need to go through and do this yourself, just exactly what I did, until you can come out with exactly this answer without making a mistake. And you might have to do it several times before you don't flub it up, but just go step by step by step. Now one of the things that you want to do is always check your work, and you want to check it doing it a different way if you can. So we're going to take the same triangle, 3, 4, and 6, but now A, we're going to let 3 be A, and we're going to let 6 be the B, and we're going to let 4 be the C. So we're just rearranging how we've done A, B, and C. It's the same triangle, but we're going to go through the same process again, and we should end up with the final same answer, but of course it'll be different in between. So now we're going to do that together, and you want to do this. I'm going through it slowly, but I want you to do it yourself. A now was what? A is 3, so we enter 3, and then we hit x squared, and then we hit the plus sign. And now in this case, B is 6, so we hit 6 and hit x squared. Notice that's a 36 now. And then we hit minus, and then we got to put in C. C is 4. We got to square it and hit equal. And now we got 29. Now we're going to hit the divide key. And first we're going to divide by 2, hit the divide key. Then we're going to divide by A. Now what is A? A is 3. Hit the divide key. Then we're going to divide by B. B is 6. Hit the equal key. And now we end up with 0.806. And now we're going to do second cos. And then hit sine. And we're ending up here with after we've hit the sine, S-I-N, we've ended up with 0.592. And I'm going to move this up a little bit. And now we're going to hit the times kind, and that doesn't change the display. Then we're going to hit A. A was what? A was 3, and then we're going to hit times. B was 6, hit times, hit 0.5 and hit equals, and there we are, 5.33, same answer. Once we got to here, we hit it up with the same answer. But notice in between it was different. So it didn't matter how you arrange the A, B, and the C. You're always going to get the same answer. In fact, there's 3 different ways you can do it. You always want to check your work this way to be sure you got the right answer. And also I should point out to you, if you're not familiar with this calculator, if you haven't taken any training on it, this shows 0.53326, so it really calculates a lot of places. But we only want to see 2 places, so we hit the second key, hit the decimal point, and hit the 2 key, and that'll show 5.33. Now, if we wanted to see 4 places, we'd hit second decimal point 4, and that would show us 4 decimal places. Or we could see no decimal places. That'd just show a 5. But now the number's still in the calculator, so and so we're here as 2 decimal places. If you want to see all of them, you hit second and hit the decimal point twice, and that shows you all of them. So that's one of the features of this calculator. It really gives you a tremendous amount of resolution, but you've only got to look at however much you want. And so you may not have known that, and I'll just remind you of that. Now you may recall that I did the area of this triangle at the very beginning of this lesson. And if you go back and look at it, I let 8.3 be A, 17.6 was B, and 12.4 was C. And then I went through the process, and I got the answer 46.6 square units. Since these were all feet, this would be square feet. Now, what you want to do to check yourself is you want to then rearrange it and let one of the other things be a C. So what I did then, and I'm going to go through that with you, is I took the same triangle, but I let A be 8.3, but I let B be 12.4, and I let C be 17.6. So I switched these two in terms of A, B, and C. So now I'm going to do the problem that way and see if I get the same answer. And if I do, then I know I did it right. If I get a different answer, then I know I made a mistake on one of them, and I have to do it again and find out which one was actually correct. Now, this just kind of demonstrates to you that the fact that I was using 3, 4, and 6 as simple numbers doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make it any easier or harder to do. We're going to take this and do it this way now. We know that A is 8.3, so it's not much harder to enter that. It's to enter 3 squared plus B is 12.4 squared minus C is 17.6 squared equals, and I'm going to divide by 2. Well, you can do it in any order, but I'm going to divide by 2. And then I'm going to divide by A, which was 8.3. I'm going to divide by B, which was 12.4. I'm going to hit equals. And then I'm going to take second cos and hit sine. And then after I've done that, after I've hit sine, I'm going to multiply that times A, which was, what was it, 8.3. Times B was, I forget now, what was it? B was 12.4 times 0.5, and I get equal, and I get 46.62, which was the answer I got the first time. Notice I used a different order of A, B, and C. Doesn't matter which order you put these in, you're going to get the same answer. Now I want you to go through and follow exactly what I did until you can do it just that fast. Pretty soon you won't even need the crib sheet to do it. You'll be able to do it on your own, and then do a bunch of exercises, and then take the quiz. And then in the next lesson, I'm going to show you kind of the theory behind this, sort of behind the scenes, why this set of steps really works, and how you would learn that if you were learning practical math. And of course, you're also going to learn how you can learn 100 other magic tricks, if you want to call them that. This is things that you find extremely valuable in all walks of life by learning the basics of math. And you're going to be absolutely amazed how easy it is to learn the secrets behind these so-called mathematical magical tricks. And that'll be in the next lesson.